Hi everyone, welcome back to my channel. Today we'll be making an apple jelly cake. It's a cake that my mom, you guys know it, she passed away a year ago. And today, June 25th, was the day we laid her to rest. And she loved this apple jelly cake, so I wanted to make it again. So let's get started. So first we're going to have, and of course, I have my oven set to 350 degrees. It's preheating. I have my recipe in front of me, and we're gonna start out with 1 cup of regular white sugar. And we're gonna do a 1/2 cup of unsalted butter. And it's at room temperature. I had it sitting out for a while. And we're gonna cream this together. Okay, now we have that cream together. We're gonna add the eggs one at a time, mixing behind each one. Then we're gonna add in 2 teaspoons of vanilla extract. And we're gonna mix that together. And in this bowl, I have 1 1/2 cup of all-purpose flour, 1 3/4 teaspoon of baking powder, and I have a package of vanilla pudding, and I've already mixed it in. And we're gonna add this to the mixture. And while I start mixing this, I'm going to start drizzling in 1/2 cup of almond milk. Or you can use regular milk, whichever you prefer. Take my spatula, make sure it's in here good. And this apple jelly cake, my mom used to tell me her grandmother used to make it back in the day. My mom was born in 1940. And it was hard times. We were in the rural South, and it was hard time for them. And she used to make a cake and just put apple jelly on top. And she said that was the best cake in the world, because, you know, they couldn't afford stuff back then, but they made the best out of what they had. And she just loved that cake, and it always just takes her back about her grandmother. She loved her grandmother to death. And she said every time she tastes the cake when I made it for her, it just brought her the memories of her grandmother. And now it's just bringing me the memories of her. She was an awesome lady. She really was. She loved and cared for everyone that met her, fell in love with her. All kids see her as their grandmother. They loved her to death. They would call her, asking for her to pray for them. She was a God-fearing woman. She really was. Now that we have this mixed up, I'm going to get the pan, and you need to spray it with some non-stick cooking spray. Make sure it's well greased. And you're going to put it in the oven for 30 to 40 minutes. And then when the toothpick inserts and come out clean, it will be done. I know the batter seemed to be thick, but don't worry, it will come out. No bubbles. And we'll see you in a minute. Welcome back. I'm still waiting for the cake to come out of the oven. I just wanted to come back and just talk a little bit more about my mother. She was a prophetess in the church, and she was in the church since November the 15th, 1979. Because I remember that's what she was to say when she was in church and she was testifying. I miss her a lot. And they say the body remembers things, because this whole month it was just like, I'm crying, just all of a sudden I would be crying. I just felt tired. It was just like I didn't know what was going on. I thought I might have been sick, but the body remembers what it was going through a year ago. And we were going through all the episode with my mother up into her going home to be with the Lord. I thank God that she had the Lord in her life, and she taught it to us. She introduced us to Christ. And now we're the generation that has to introduce it to our kids and so forth, so they don't forget who God is. Because there's so much in the Bible where they forgot who God was because they weren't teaching it to the next generation. We have to teach it to the next generation so they can remember who God is. And my mom did that. She prayed to the Lord for all of her kids to be saved. And God, one by one, saved all of her kids. When all of her kids were saved, she started praying for the grandkids. She wanted each and every one of her grandkids to be saved. Now that's my mark. I'm praying for each and every one of my nieces and nephews to be saved, and my daughter as well to be saved. Because God is so good, and He is always there for you. He will never leave you alone. And my mom always taught us that. She was an awesome role model to me and a lot of other people as well. But you have to have God in your life, because He will be there for you no matter what. And like his word say, he said, come to him with whatever's on your heart. Even though he comes to him with whatever you're going through. Whatever it is. He can help you. He can make the path straight. He can work it out. And I love my mom to death. I love her. And I miss her. But I know one day, when he calls this breath, because in the word it says, the people who died before you will come back to retrieve you on that day. And on that day, I will see my father, my mother, my brother, and my sister coming to retrieve me. So I can have that mansion on high that God is waiting for me. I love him. I love him. I love him. Okay, the cake is out of the oven, and I'm gonna let her sit and rest for about 10 minutes before I take it out of the pan. And we'll let it cool down, and we'll put the icing, which is the apple jelly. Hi, welcome back. The cake has cooled down, and it took 30 minutes in the oven. Toothpick inserter came out clean, and I've let the cake cool down. So now it's just the regular apple jelly that I'm going to spread on the top, and then I'm going to sprinkle it with a little bit of sweetened shredded coconut. And in the bowl I have maybe a half a cup of the apple jelly, but you can put on as much as you would like. Because my mom liked it with a slice of the cake and then a little apple jelly on the side. And my brother loved it as well. My brother that passed away in February. He loved the jelly cake as well. The green over the side, that is fine. That is fine. The shredded coconut. And the coconut is the same. You can put as much as you would like on your cake. I think that's enough. And here she goes. Now we're going to taste her. Get the end piece. Or some do like my mom did. Put a little extra jelly on the side. Let's taste her. Delicious. Super moist. Not overly sweet with the jelly. It's like a perfect pairing. And then you got the little crunchy bits on the outside. Delish. I see why my mom and my brother loved it so. Thank you again for coming and watching my channel. And don't forget to comment, like, and subscribe. And I'll see you in my next video. Delicious.